Oh my gosh. I think I got an auto loss for that one, if I were to guess. I might also just need a better phone. Oh, here we go. The problem is I don't know if they swap this in or not. I need just shields. Really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, imagine if I just went straight Carbink because they're like locked in. Yeah, that is a strong possibility. Maybe that should have been. Am I winning? Trying. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, this makes more sense. So they had a Steelix lead. I think we get both these off at least. Alright, I think I go straight Annihilate after this. Just get some counter down damage. One, two, three, four. Maybe I should have gone for the Shadow Ball. I don't know. Or like baited the Shadow Ball, because they're definitely not going to shield this. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be a Psychic Fangs. I just go another Night Slash, I guess. I definitely know when charge attack priority against this thing though, so that's a little concerning. Hopefully they don't get to another move, but they might. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Nice. Okay, we somehow won that one, but I didn't even know what the heck they had in the lead. All right, this is a good story of never giving up. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be covering my Great League Remix team that I've been using. I didn't get to play a lot during the Go Battle weekend because I was at work, but I've been grinding a decent amount with this team. I even hit as high as 3300s, and currently I'm on the leaderboard. Continue to go positive in pretty much most of my sets. So let me break down the team. It's a Annihilate with a Shadow Empoleon and a Carbink. And this team, even though it's particularly weak to Gligar, is actually pretty strong in this meta still. Today, I'll be highlighting 4 straight sets where I went positive. Nothing crazy, nothing too fancy with my win streak, but again, I'm facing against some of the best in the world right now with this team, and it works pretty well. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. Kicking things off, we get a Shadow Magnezone. Fantastic lead. Let's say what they come in with. I always get worried because usually whenever they have Steel in the lead, they have a Shadow Gligar on the back. I go straight for the Hydro Cannon. If you swap right away, you should be able to reach it right when they reach that dig. And here's the thing I noted. No one ever throws dig. Everyone throws aerials. Even if they're in the lead and you safe swap the Empoleon and in shields up, they always go straight aerials. So obviously, after the first one, they could go straight aerials afterwards, so I had to show the second one, and I charge attack priority. And the most important thing is, as long as I get to a Hydro Cannon, I should be able to grab a shield to do a lot of damage to this Magnezone. And the most important thing is you maintain even shields and switch advantage. So of course, we have a shield advantage now. We have to respect the wild charge. Ends up being mirror shots, but they come in with the Mantine. So it's going to be pretty good. So a lot of times there's Steel, Double Flyer, Shadow Gligar, typically the safe swap in these situations, and like I said, not a great answer to Gligar on this team, both Shadow and non-Shadow, but there's a lot of ways to play around it. And of course, we should be in a pretty good spot here. They have the commit energy to take out my Carbink, but they don't get to it in time. Dunsparce lead. Again, anytime you have a positive lead with the team, always be ready for that swap into the Gligar. This time, they come in with the Mantine. Something I noted is also that it's probably better to come into this with the Empoleon. This is kind of my own mistake, though, kind of knee-jerk reaction that I've been doing consistently with this team, because Empoleon is also really, really good into the Mantine, but a lot of times the lead Pokemon won't hard wall the Empoleon as much. In this situation, the Carbink actually has a lot of play, but you know, if they have like a Annihilate in the, or I guess Annihilate wouldn't swap out right away, but like Empoleon in the lead, right? Empoleon farm down my Carbink would be pretty bad, or Ferrothorn, that's also not great. That being said, they're pretty low on health at this point, and yeah, you know, they're trying to draw my fairy type. They're trying to draw the card bank so they can have a clear way with something like a Giratina. That being said, the Steel Wing damage is adding up quite a bit. Now, if you don't have Shadow and Empoleon, you can definitely use their non-Shadow. However, something I love about the Shadow is that it just hits so hard. Like, the Steel Wing damage is pretty nutty. You can see here, too, winning the Charge Attack priority as well. It's pretty nice for me. I'm just going to let this move go at this point in time. And now we could just go straight Night Slash to take this out. So even though Carbink would have been better in the back, still kind of ended up working out. So I definitely make some misplays here or there with this team, but that's something to know. All right, Shadow Steelix. So in this situation, a lot of times it's just Psychic Fangs, but I shield it anyway. It's a lot of damage. And we have time to get to double Night Slash. Most don't shield in this situation if they're staying in because they're like ABA weak to Annihilate. But that being said, let's see what they come in with. They come in with Cresselia, and then I lock in my Empoleon. This is probably the worst case scenario is whenever you lock in the Empoleon into either a Poliwrath or Annihilate or just any fighter. In hindsight, it probably would have been better for me to just stay in Annihilate into Cresselia, grab a shield, and then try to finish off the Poliwrath with the Carbink and the Empoleon. I come in to absorb the Icy Wing because I figure they're probably likely going Icy Wing given how low I was at, so it would be neutral. But unfortunately, at this point in time, it's a little bit tough. I go into one move, so I'm just doing the Moonblast. They actually let it go, which helps me quite a bit. And I'm just going to debate the Shadow Ball, but it's just a little too late. Like, I just don't get to a Shadow Ball in time. And even if I did, the Cresselia does survive. So, well played by my opponent here. I'm going to throw it on Charge Attack Priority just to do a little something. Maybe if I boost it, even the boost wouldn't have done anything with that Night Slash. But yeah, my Carbink just has a little too little health at this point. So, great lead, but kind of misplayed by me. Alright, Feraligatr is also a really tough one because it has a lot of play into the whole team. Usually what I do is I throw the Night Slash to see who wins Charge Attack Priority. Typically speaking, I won't. But this opponent actually didn't throw the move, so now I swap in my Empoleon. If they did throw the move, I'd shield it and then try to catch the next Hydro Cannon on my Empoleon. That being said, they come in the Ferrothorn, which is pretty nice because I'm getting both moves off. So at this point in time, I feel pretty good, and I'm just going to shield because this way I could draw the energy from the Feraligatr. I have a little bit of energy residual on this Empoleon as well. Probably going to be a Hydro Cannon, even a Crunch. Is Crunch definitely going to pretty much take me out. Even Hydro Cannon does a decent amount. I end up coming back in with my Annihilate just because I want to just like put some pressure on and try to catch a move. Unfortunately, not able to. Probably should have thrown the Shadow Ball to strip a shield, so that's kind of my own fault. But the Gligar here is going to be a little bit of pain. So yeah, they have a lot of energy left, unfortunately. I should be able to get a move off here. Yeah, so we're going to throw out at the very last second just to get as much rock throw damage as possible, especially if they no shield. I get the full counter down, which is kind of nice. And then I have back-to-back Night Slash. The question is, can I get the second one off before the Shadow Ball takes me out? And yes. So barely make it work. A little bit of sloppy play by me, I think, but we end up keeping it quite close. Mantine in the lead. Pretty rough. I have two great counters in the back, though. It's a little bit easier than a Gligar lead, in my opinion. Although Mantine itself is a little bit bulkier. This opponent's actually staying in, which is super weird to me. So I'm just going to stay in as well. And they're going Aerial Ace, which is even weirder. So I'm just going to no shield. My guess is they're running Ice Beam Aerial Ace. So yeah. So I just need to throw right on Charge Attack Priority, essentially, to ensure that I leave with as much farm as possible. And that's exactly what I do. So I could force them to shield if they want to, and then I could still dictate how the match goes. But they end up coming in with the Shadow Steelix. And that was a big fumble by me. I was trying to optimize, and unfortunately, I just don't. Yeah, it was very, very uncomfortable. Not a great play. Sometimes when you know optimization, you can over-optimize and make things a little uncomfortable, and that's exactly what happened to me. That being said, we do get to another Night Slash. Let's see if we can take out the Steelix. Steelix is kind of annoying for the Carbink to deal with. And it goes down, and I actually get the boost. Unfortunately, I swap out. I was debuffed, so I didn't really want the rock side to rock throws to take me out. And they have double, well, I guess it's not steel, but double weak to fighting, I guess, in the back. Makes sense. They're both very weak to Empoleon, so I get why they stayed in with the Mantine. That being said, Unfortunate, I probably should shield the first Moonblast because now they can go straight Rock Slide. That being said, my Carbink is still putting in a decent amount of work into theirs, and they pretty much have to commit some energy here to take me out. And yeah, so forced to throw another Rock Slide. Can't go for the full Rock Throw farm down, but I think that's their win con because now my Night counters down. So again, misplays on my end. We still go away with a 4-1. This is against some really strong players, right, in the 3200s. So definitely don't learn from my misplays. But the whole point is, it seems good, even with misplays. There's a lot of room for error, I guess. Unfortunate, but it is what happens. Again, they never throw Dig. Obviously, if they throw Dig, this match becomes instantly way harder, but they never throw Dig, right? So, something to note. Oh, this is super unfortunate, too. So, yeah, I end up lagging in this situation. Shout out Niantic. But had to close out the app, and spoiler, get awarded with a loss. That probably would have been a win for me, unfortunately, but it just got an auto loss for that one. So, ends up being what it is. Going to game number 2. You know, things happen. Alright, with Salazzle, kind of not a very common Pokemon you see. It has typically Dragon Pulse and Poison Fang, so resisted attacks on the Empoleon, but the Incinerate damage definitely adds up. We end up catching a move though, which is kind of nice, and expending some of the energy. It would have been resistant on the Nihileap anyway, but Nihileap is definitely on the Freo end. They come in with the Credilli, which is kind of interesting. Super effective Steel Wing, neutral, Hydro Cannon does a ton of damage, as you can see here. So let's see what they do. I think I could throw 1 Steel Wing and throw. Throwing 2 is a little ambitious. I don't want to go down trying to optimize yet again in this situation. And then I come in with a Carbink. This is pretty good for me. It's likely going to be a Poison Fang or Dragon Pulse either way. We're in a good spot. I end up coming with the... I was trying to counter down. End up catching a Poison Fang, which is unintentional. But either way, they have a Lapras back. I have a shield advantage. This is pretty much over. I think even in 0 shields, we should be fine here. Obviously, if they have Hydro Pump, that's a different question. Different story, but they do not. Alright, we go into a Shadow Empoleon lead. And again, I'm telling you, they never throw Dig. Shields up, 2 shields up, they never throw Dig. Of course, I'm going to get some comments here. People are going to use this team and they're going to get hit by Dig. Obviously, gamble at your own choice, but that's the thing with this team is you just have to, it's a little game of chicken, and typically speaking, I'm no chicken, so I'm just no shielding in those situations. And they go Dig on the second time, which is surprising because I don't think it's necessary, but that's fine. Come away with some energy left. And they don't have a lot to farm off of me, which is nice. I should be able to put this pretty close in the encounter range. They likely will leave with a move or close to it. They're probably like 1 or 2 away. I don't know if they're at it. We definitely have to respect the Drill Peck. It does a decent amount of damage. I actually do a Hydro Cannon for some reason. This is an interesting play. So I'm going to throw the bait move. Carbink is actually pretty strong in this situation, so I'm just swap it in. And try to get him Moonblast. The Shadow Ball damage is definitely going to add up. This gets a little funky at times, though, because I thought they had a Shadow Ball there, but I think they're just committing to farming down. I don't know. They maybe just want to save some energy for the Empoleon. And let's see if they get to the move, and just short. I think they're maybe 1 Steel Wing away. So a really close game. Well played by the opponent there to keep it pretty close. Again, Shadow Feraligatr, kind of a weird one. I like to throw. And right on charge attack priority, they didn't throw at all, I believe. So usually I'd swap in. Could be a crunch. I'm going to shield it. It's going to do a lot of damage. Ends up being crunch, which is fine. And now they come in with their own Nihileap. This gets a little bit tricky because, again, anytime they come in with a counter user here, it's pretty rough for my own Nihileap in this situation. So I think... Do I come in with a Carbink? Yeah, I come in with a Carbink. Mostly because I just want to absorb some of this energy so I don't have to shield. It's unlikely they're going to go for any baits here. And even if they do, like, no big deal to me. This could be pretty rough, though, depending on where they have them back. My Carbink is pretty low at this point. And I'm just going to shield. And they end up throwing Ice Slash. They end up boosting as well. So I'm going to throw right before they get to their next move. Might have been a little off on my counts. Not sure. But that being said... I get some Nice Slash. I needed to take out the Feraligatr, otherwise I am in trouble. And not quite. So to get the move off, I have a Carbink in the back. Honestly, it needs to be like a Shadow Dragonite for me to have a chance. Ends up being a Gligar, which would have been tough even if I took out the Feraligatr. So well played by the opponent for sure. But yeah, again, when he takes out the Empoleon, they have a counter use in the back. It's usually a tough match. Not unwinnable, but tough. Alright, they come in Goodra. Pretty interesting. So I think do I go Rock Slide or I go Moonblast in this situation? I think Rock Slide is not enough to knock out. But let's see what I go. Yeah, I go straight for the Moonblast actually. Figuring that they probably wouldn't shield. They end up shielding. Maybe I should have just gone Rock Slide. I don't know. Yeah, Rock Slide would have been better because I can get 2 off. They end up throwing Power Whip, which is not ideal for me. But that being said, let's see what they come in with. It ends up being the Shadow Gligar. I'm going to throw Shadow Ball. This is pretty good. I do a lot of damage, or I grab their final shield. I do grab the shield, which is quite nice. And again, they always throw Aerial Ace, but I'm going to shield this point. That's just my lose con if I just don't shield a dig. Ends up being Aerial Ace as expected, but that's okay. We should be able to get 2 Drill Picks off. 2 Drill Picks with the Steel Wing actually threatens a knockout on the Ferrothorn. I think I should be able to Steel Wing down afterward. Let's see what we can do here. Going to go for good timing, throwing after 4 Steel Wing to get the good optimization. And like I said, just in Steel Wing territory, we outpace the Gligar. They quit out. And again, another 3-2 set. Honestly, that probably would have been 4-1 if I didn't lag out in that first game. So I'm not filtering any of the battles. These are just 4 straight sets. And again, it's the team's working. It's doing work for sure. All right, we're going against a Victreebel. Shout out Victreebel. Pretty rough for my team composition. But I just have to stay in that situation. I'm going to go for aggressive Steel Wing down and see what we can do. They end up throwing Acid Spray, which is really uncomfortable, but is what it is. Maybe I should have swapped to Carbink at that point. I'm not sure. They come in with Tropius, which is also pretty wild. I guess there's not a lot of fire types in this meta, so pretty safe, I guess. I don't know. There's Shadow Gligar everywhere. What do they do against Shadow Gligar? They just stay in, I guess. I don't know. But ABA Grassol Razor Leafers. So if you're wondering what people in higher elo run, trust me, the D-Gen teams are in every elo range. I unfortunately get denied a Steel Wing, but it doesn't really matter at this point too. I think I don't get the full farm down. Yeah, so we're going to lose this one. But that being said, if they do throw a move in that lead matchup, Victreebel into Annihilate, I always shield, try to fight for that switch advantage, because usually switch advantage in those kind of more fast attack pressure heavy teams are a little bit more RPS based. All right, counter swap Annihilate into my Empoleon. Not a good time. Let's see if I can come away with the victory here or not. I know I struggled the last time I faced this, but let's see what we can do here. All right, we're going to wait out the timer a little bit. And this time I do come in with Annihilate because, I don't know, I still have 2 shields, I guess. I think last time I don't have 1 shield, so it's not as favorable. I'm going to go straight for the Night Slash. Good thing they didn't bait me there. Allows me to go for a little bit better situation. At this point, it could be another Shadow Ball, so ends up being it. And I'm going to go for aggressive counter down. Hopefully I can land a move at this point. Let's see what we can do here. And they actually come in Gligar. Pretty wild. I was not expecting this. If I get the Shadow Ball off, it's huge. And I end up landing the Shadow Ball, which is absolutely crucial. It's going to be a dig for sure. But that being said, that's fine. We get the Mantine on the Carbink, which is exactly what I want. And let's see if we survive the Water Pulse or not. If it's Ice Beam, even better. Ends up being Water Pulse, so not quite. And yeah, just ran out a little bit of steam in the end there. If I get that Rock Slide off, it would have been a different story. But that being said, we kept it close. Yeah, I think. Especially, again, given the counter user counter swapping the Empoleon, super tough matchup. They come in Shadow Alolan Ninetales. Honestly, I should have came in with the Empoleon. Kind of panicked swapped. So not a great play by me. That being said, I might go for a pivot. I'm actually not sure. A pivot is not out of the question in this scenario. But they come in with the Ferrothorn, which is a little unfortunate. So they don't really wait out the timer. So they're just going to lock this into the Carbink. Let's see what happens if I could land this Moonblast. I might swap over to the Annihilate. Let's see. No, I don't. Okay. So maybe I just maintain alignment and hope that I have a pretty good matchup. Empoleon's very strong in this meta, so it's not bad in the back. It's going to be a Power Whip, but I'm not going to shield it. You can see I'm swapping over to Empoleon. And yeah, as expected, right, it's going to be a Tropius. Going to be pretty weak to the Carbink. Would have definitely probably been better. I don't know. Carbink's kind of weird too. It's doing super effective damage to taking super effective damage. But yeah, Tropius has a lot of energy. That being said, if I get both these moves off, I'm in a pretty good spot. So I do get them off, and now I'm just going to take neutral damage from the Razor Leaf, and Tropius doesn't hit nearly as hard as the Shadow Victreebel. I was expecting them to try to catch. They end up not catching, so I'm going to just throw the Shadow Ball, take him out, and then counter the Ferrothorn. So again, kind of a slight misplay, but we made it work. Instinctually, I see Fairy, I just go Carbink or Ice, but honestly, Empoleon's a much better situation. Speaking of good situations, Empoleon into this is good. I'm telling you, no one throws Dig. Alright, and I'm not going to shield. Obviously, if it's Dig, it's a rough position, but it's never Dig. And again, now they go straight Aerial Ace, we're going to shield, and then now we throw on Charge Attack Priority every 5 wing attacks. So we win Charge Attack Priority against the Gligar. Empoleon's attack is pretty high. And we're able to take it out. And now they might go for a farm down, but that's okay. I do a decent amount of damage here, and as long as I put it in a reasonable counter down range, we should be in a good spot. I don't think I get to another move. No, just missed out, but that's okay. Yeah, I think if they do shield, or if they do stay in to throw another move, I'm going to shield. Because again, if they have a Gligar in the back, I do decent damage into Gligar as well. Ends up being a Mantine. I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball. If I land it, great. If not, we're in a good spot either way. End up grabbing the shields. Here comes the Carbink. Easy peasy. Like I said, the team is a little tricky in some matchups, but it's really solid. Alright, say swap the Shadow Sableye. Not the best because the Empoleon can farm down my Carbink or do quite a bit of damage to it. But the problem is I don't really have any other great answer to this thing, so I have to come in because they get the moves at the same timing my Empoleon does. So you can see I was trying to pause a little bit, trying to let him Shadow Call more, Shadow Call me down more, but unfortunately ends up not being the case. And you can see I actually swap over to Empoleon, expecting them to swap right away. And they go straight for the Ominous Wind. They actually don't, I don't even think they built up to the Shadow Ball. That's actually pretty good for me. I need to try to get the second Drill Peck off if possible. And let's see if we do. Oh, and they throw again. They honestly probably could have Shadow Called me down there. But because they threw it, it gives me an extra Seal Wing. Allows me to get this another Drill Peck off. And they no shield. So, this is going to be interesting. Can I get the full counter down? And yes, we do. And again, another positive set with the team. Like I said, I make some misplays here or there. But overall, the team is consistent for climbing purposes, which is what's the most important part. And obviously, these are some of the best players in the world. So, you know, sometimes at lower elo ranges, it might be even better or easier to run the team. That being said, they go for a foul play in dip. So, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I really want to fight for switch here or not. Might be worth it. So, I'm just going to shield up and see what happens. I'm in Dark Pulse. And I'm just going to throw on good timing. If I could flip switch and I could grab a shield back with the Empoleon, that would be really nice. They unfortunately get to another move, so not great for me. But we survive, and we get another Hydro Cannon off. So they had to go down all their shields as well, or not. And this is bad. That's really bad, because it's going to be pretty good into my whole backline. I'm going to try to catch a Aerial Ace. Unfortunately, I don't end up catching it. I think my play was to throw a Night Slash after, but I don't survive the Aerial Ace. I was hoping to throw the Night Slash after they throw the Aerial Ace so I could chip it down and just go for Rock Throws down. But unfortunately, was not able to. Let's see how close you get this down to. Yeah, not quite. I mean, I think if I land the Night Slash, I still get to his dig, so it's going to be very unfortunate. Even throw on Charge Attack Priority, which is a big no-no, but at that point, like, I knew it was pretty much over. Yeah, so well played. That's Booty, which is actually a Worlds Qualifier, actually, well, too, for 2 years straight, so very good player. The Shadow Gligar in the lead. Again, I swap in. Sometimes they throw, sometimes they don't. Everyone that throws in that situation still throws Aerial, but I do shield typically if they throw and dip, because sometimes that's worth shielding, but it never ends up being dig. They throw Crunch in this situation, which is kind of nice. And then I'm going to throw right before they get to a Hydro Cannon. Let's see if they shield this or not. They choose to shield. I think I'm going to commit shields as well. If I get shields down, this energy could be pretty valuable. And yeah, they have Empoleon in the back. This is going to be pretty weird. I think maybe I just pivot over. I don't even know. What do I do in this situation? Okay, I get to another Hydro Cannon, but they throw on Charge Attack priority, which is not too bad. So I think I come in Annihilate, and as expected, they come in Gligar, so I'm going to counter swap with my Carping. It's a little bit tough situation because the Gligar has energy already, and they still have shield. So I think my best play here is to potentially put them in Night Slash range, but they're getting a lot of energy here, which is not good. And I don't think I have that much energy on my Annihilate. Yeah, not quite. So we're going to have to just throw the Night Slash as soon as possible because the wing attack damage is really going to start adding up. As you can see, we're going to throw this. And let's see how many counters away this Empoleon is. Oh, not quite. Yeah, we definitely end up going down there. So a little bit tougher, but it happens. 2 great Dragonite counters in the back, so I'm going to swap straight away to it. And they come in Steelix, which is kind of weird. Oh, it's actually, I remember this one. It's a Thunderfang Steelix, so actually much better into the Empoleon. I don't get off 2 moves. Pretty wild. So I think at this point, I'm just going to let this move go. Likely going to be a Psychic Fangs, and it is. And we're just going to continue countering and doing what we can. I'm just going to throw the move right away. All right, we're going to shield up here. Because I don't want to get permanently debuffed by whatever's in the back. Ends up being Gligar in the here. And this situation is actually not too bad. You actually could win this matchup in the 1 shields if you come in with the Rock Throw, as long as you shield dig. As you can see too, Carpink is strong enough to tank 2 digs as well in most situations, or at least mine is. But that being said, I don't think they get to another one time. So we're going to throw this Rock Slide and take out the Gligar. And now the Dragonite has to commit Super Power, which is really nice for me. Because they debuff themselves not only just defensively, but offensively. And that's going to allow me to potentially survive enough Dragon Breath to get off a Night Slash. And just barely, but we make it. And that's why I run high stat product Pokemon. And we get a nice boost to boots. Alright, I think this is our last matchup. It's going to be Dedenne. Not something super common. Definitely a core breaker, to say the least. So, not going to be a great time. However, yeah, they go Discharge as well. Not going to be good. So, they go for the baits. I'd go for the bait. I'm going to go for another bait as well, because I really just don't want this to any of my Empoleon. And they end up swapping to Mantine. So, I'm going to come in with my Empoleon. Like I said before, Empoleon is pretty good into Mantine. So, not too bad. They do have Water Pulse, which is going to be a little better for them. It hits a little bit harder than Aerial Ace. A lot of times sometimes they're running Ice Beam, but I think in this meta, Water Pulse does make quite a bit of sense. I'm going to throw another Drill Peck here just to take this out, so I don't have to worry about it. And then I could lock in my Carpink into the Dedenne if they come in with Dedenne. I have a ton of energy on my Annihilate still, so that's nice. They actually come in with Sableye, so that's actually pretty good for my Carpink. I'm going to throw the Rock Slide, and they no shield. Oh, and I swap and catch. I was going to go for the combo play, and I kind of do, but I did not realize I lose Charge Attack Priority against the Dedenne with Annihilate. So I learned something new. But we get the boost. We survive the Shadow Call. We get a full Shadow Ball off. They don't shield. It is over. And yeah, okay, that's not the last match. There's actually still a few more, I guess. Shadow Victreebel, another Shadow Victreebel, and this time let's see if we could win this one or not. So I faced a decent amount of Shadow Victreebel. Something I was doing before is going to Shadow Ball, but most shield anyway. And if you boost, even better if you get it early. In this situation, they don't shield, but they do throw, and we get to another move. So this is more important, right? It's worth it to give up Charge Attack Priority here and give up a shield to win Switch. Let me tell you, it's always worth it. Okay, in this situation, maybe it's not worth it. Let's see how this plays out. Yeah. This doesn't look as good. Gligar is pretty strong, but I'm hoping that the Empoleon is pretty strong in the back end. What I really had to do is put this in Steel Wing territory. That's really the main goal here. I'm going to just force them to throw all their energy. And yeah, unfortunately, not able to shield this. If I do, then I just get taken out by a dig afterward. And I'm going to shield this dig, because even if it's the Aerial Ace, right, this time they actually did throw a dig, and they quit out. We don't even know what they have in the back. But again, Empoleon typically in those situations is very, very strong into those types of teams. And we go positive yet again. So like I said, team really, really strong. Definitely give it a shot if you're trying to climb with it. I know a lot of my patrons have been hitting the leaderboards or hitting legend with this team as well. So it's been tried and proven, not just by me, but by a lot of other people in the community as well. So best luck if you run this team. Let me know how it goes. Just be warned, They always throw Aerial Ace until they don't. Don't be mad at me if they do throw a dig. No shield at your own risk, but personally speaking, I just don't shield in that situation. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share. Subscribe for future content. Hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace.